Hello, you friends. This is your friend Rye here with another great episode of the history of the world. This episode, we're going to focus on the Oklahoma Territory. Okay, the territory of Oklahoma exists for, I believe, 17 years, yet its rapid expansion and development made its history unique. After the entire land run into an unassigned lands on April 22, 1809. The number of settlers exceeded the requirements of the creating a territory government, but the area citizens waited for a year before the U.S. Congress took action. In the meantime, settlers quarreled over contest claims, with the most serious agreements rippling among townside companies whose opposing factions were frankly on the verge of violence. Temporary or professionally, town governments tend to worsen rather than resolve the disputes. On May 2, 1890, the Organization Act of Territory of Oklahoma revived the consumer framework of territories government, and the laws provides the president would appoint a governor, a secretary, 3 federal judges, and marshal. The voters would choose members of the House of Representatives and Council, as well as official delegate to the U.S. Congress. Nebraska laws would apply until the territory legalized past sanctions. The Organization Act also divided the area of unassigned lands into 6 counties, and the so-called No Man's Land. Present-day Oklahoma Panhandle became the 7th county. Lawmakers enact additional lands would be attached to the ordinary territory after American Indians on virtual adjusted reserves basically, received augments, and those surplus lands became available for settlement. President Benjamin Harrison appointed George W. Steele of India as the first governor of the territory. After arriving in late May, organizing his office, Steele scheduled the election of the legislators for August 5, 1890. Later that month, when the chosen representative arrived at Guthrie, the designated capital Republicans held a slight edge. The Democrats, allied with the emerging People's Party, popularized, however, and recruited enough Bolton Republicans to create a control Colton, which surprisingly elected a member of the minority populace as presiding office in each house. Put a copy with location of Prize Institute, the University, the capital of Agriculture College, and the normal school. The legislators neglect the passage of state statutes until the warning days of the section. The stalemate and Squabberg so disguised Governor Steele that he resigned and returned to India. The new territory grew dramatically, raising from 60,417 in 1890 to 722,000 441 in 1907. An increase aptitude in the part to the work of Cherokee Commission, or Drummer Commission as it was commonly known, created by Congress under the same legislation that had opened the unassigned lands. The commission convinced the Cherokees to give up their outlet and preside oversee other Indian tribes in central and western Oklahoma to take allotments. The federal government then opened the surplus acreage to non-Indians and 4 additional land rushes. In 1891, into the Sac and Fox, Idaho, and Potawatomi Shawnee areas, and in 1892 into the Shawnee-Apalachee lands, in 1893 into the Outlet, and in 1895 into the Kickapoo reservations. Unlike the original assigned lands, settlers had to pay the government for their claims in these 4 substance state land openings. In 1896, the U.S. Supreme Court concluded a dispute between Oklahoma Territory and Texas over Gill County. Organized by Lone Star State, the court awarded the region to Oklahoma, and settlers who entered that area simply filled their claims under the Homestead Act of 1862 and 1901. Federal officers held a lottery for free land, approximately 13,000 quality sections of property, once belonged to the Quaw, Comanche, Plains, Apache, Wichita, Caddo, and other affiliated tribes. Just before statehood, the territory of Oklahoma also added the Quad Missouri, Toccoa, Ka, Osage reserves. After victory, all of these lands were allotted to tribe members. New territories citizens who arrived during the rapid expansion sought to secure their new homes and investments. They vied with each other for multiple normal schools, new county seats, and railroads for the community. They faced a drought struggle, especially during the economic depression and drought of the 1890s. Following the opening of unassigned land, settlers and full assumption land openers often failed to make even the minimum payment owed to the federal land office. Hundreds of citizens in this area soon formed the Free Home League to push the federal legislation and expunge the outstanding debt. Republican territory delegate Dennis T. Flynn gained their gratitude when he pursued Congress to pass the Free Homes Bill in 1900. Nationally, politics must directly affect the territory area through the appointment of governors and other office holders. Only one Democrat, William C. for 1893 and 1997 served as governor. Republicans held the presidential most of that period. Resulting appointments of follow Republicans Albenham J.C. 1892 to 93, Cassie M. Barnes 1897 and 1901, William M. Jenks 1901, Thomas B. Lewis 1901 and 06, and Frank Freer 1906 and 07. Economy controls of the extra bench of Republicans led to proceed emperor strikes, most notable in 1901 during the club over the mental status at Norman. Under a contract with territory government, several leading party members held show in the company, and President Theodore Roosevelt dismissed Governor Jenkins for his suspicious role. This type of interregnum among the Republicans did the party little harm in elections of the elect to Congress. One lone Democrat populist served in the election position, James Y. Cowling, 1897 to 99. Republicans otherwise mobilized the office, David A. Harvey, 1890 to 93. Dennis T. Blunt, 1893 97. All of them other people. In addition to the strike, locally issues of free homes and placement institution, the governors and other election territory officially control conference, nationally politics issues and trends. Hard economically times, drought and low agricultural commodity prices led disgruntled farmers in the Allies to form the People's Party. Members of the movement elected a few legislators in 1890 and 1896. They aligned with the Democrats to capture the Congress delegated seats and control the territorial legislation. Because of the populists then failed in the legislative agenda, and because the National Democrat component the issues of civil and black, the People's Party declined in the territory. And this okay. In 1898, majority of Oklahomans of all party rallied around with the war against Spain. Hundreds of young men hurried volunteer for Theodore Roosevelt framed Rough Riders Regiment and other units organized for the conflict in Cuba. Humney, however, disappeared when territory citizens faced other issues such as race. As otherwise in the South, local politics edged increasing towards Jim Crowsism. In the early 1890s, black promoters, primarily from Kansas, started all-black towns that entered thrived, and hundreds of other African Americans settled among white neighbors on farms. As black settlers posed, as many moved to predominantly white towns, racial comment dragged. In 1901, the legislature passed an act requiring segregation in public schools. By then, many towns had passed an ordered sundown ordinance prohibiting blacks from really spending the night in those communities. Even the Republican Party drifted towards a literally white policy as statehood opposed. Regardless of race, the frontier life in the territory provided difficult for most citizens. In the rural areas, the first settlers simply built dugouts and sod houses or small hybrid shacks. Often their first crops fertilized on some occasions. Turnips provide the only shape for many families. If these county residents survived for 4 years and drought depressed at 1980. Often the first crops fertilized on some occasions. Turnips provide the only staple for the many families. If these country residents survived the first 4 years and the drought depressed of the 1890s, they then constructed wood frame houses and planted trees and decorated plants around their living areas. Their children often attended school in buildings that also served as temporary churches and social centers. Their fellow Oklahomans in the towns enjoyed more amenities, but they also struggled to keep the communities afloat financially in both urban and rural regions. Neighborly kindness and cooperation often enshrined life. By the early 1900s, prospect arrives, settlers could afford newly the food and recreations, and the dependence on each other declined. Disparate economically improvement, religion problems frustrated many Oklahomans. The pressure of low community prices and high transport rates angered many farmers during the era. They believed railroads unfairly controlled the market to the disadvantage of rural commercials. The dramatic emergence of large corporations at the turn of the 20th century caused many territory residents to be fearful of trusts, monopolists at the national level. Beginning in 1902, Mark Rakers revealed corporating wrongdoing, and local newspapers began describing corruption acts harmful to the people of the territory as statehood ordinary citizens. The newly formed Oklahoma Farmers Union and labor interests in both territories joined to fight the special interests. Most of all, a large majority of the people of the territory of Oklahoma simply wanted the creation of the state that would enable them to mold the future. The Oklahoma Enabling Act of 1906 allowed the widening of the Constitution, and the territory period officially ended on Statehood Day, November 16, 1907. Okay, once again, I'm not taking no credit of this piece of article I read. If you want to look this up, it's on Oklahoma Historical Society. So if you guys want to look this up, you can go right ahead. And once again, please subscribe, comment, and like, and I'll see you guys next time.